Hola Cules. What's up, you magnificent Blaugrana army? Welcome back to the channel, your ultimate destination for all things FC Barcelona. As a diehard Cule, one who lives and breathes Blaugrana, I can tell you that every single day is an adventure when you support this club. And this week? Oh boy, this week has been an absolute emotional rollercoaster, hasn't it? From the exhilarating highs of dominant performances to the nail-biting suspense of transfer market whispers, and the very real, very pressing decisions facing our beloved La Masia talents, there's just so much to unpack. Honestly, my phone has been glued to my hand, refreshing every news feed, just to keep up with the latest developments. And you know what? That's exactly why we're here today, to dissect it all, to celebrate, to ponder, and maybe even to vent a little, because that's what family does, right? We're diving deep into some fascinating potential loan moves for our promising youngsters, significant contract renewals that caught some of us by surprise, and an absolutely massive transfer decision that could cement a key player's future at the Spotify Camp Nou. And, as if all of that wasn't enough to get your Cule heart pounding, we have the ultimate showdown looming, an El Clásico in a final. The Spanish Super Cup is on the line, and you know what that means for our rivalry with those guys. This isn't just news, it's the very fabric of our club's immediate future, and I'm champing at the bit to share my unfiltered, passionate Cule perspective with all of you. So, settle in, put on your favorite Barça shirt, I'm rocking mine right now, and let's talk some serious football. Before we jump in, though, do me a massive favor, if you're as passionate about Barça as I am, smash that like button right now. It truly helps the channel grow and lets me know you're enjoying the content. If you haven't already, please subscribe to join our growing family of dedicated Cules, and hit that notification bell so you never, ever miss a single update, rumor, or celebratory rant from your most passionate Barça channel. Forza Barça, always. Alright Cules, kicking things off with a bittersweet piece of news, and it hits right at the heart of our precious La Masia. We're talking about Marc Casado, a midfielder who, let's be honest, has shown glimpses of real potential and grit, especially when injuries plagued our squad last season. Remember when he stepped up? It felt like he was ready to become a fixture. But now, reports from Mundo Deportivo are suggesting that Barcelona aren't going to stand in his way if he decides to seek a loan move. And honestly, as much as it pains me to see our La Masia product potentially leave, you can understand the rationale, even if it's a tough pill to swallow. Casado, 22, needs minutes, proper minutes, to develop and fulfill his promise. This season, he's only clocked 786 minutes across 18 appearances. When you look at the pecking order, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Eric Garcia, and even Marc Bernal, who we'll talk about next, it's a stacked midfield. And let's not even get started on the elephant in the room, Gavi's imminent return from injury. While we all crave Gavi's fire and passion back on the pitch, it's a harsh reality check for guys like Casado. His path to regular playing time looks incredibly complicated. We even thought he might offer cover at right back, a versatile option, but with Joao Cancelo's almost certain arrival, that door is now firmly shut. It's a classic Barça conundrum, isn't it? We nurture these incredible talents at La Masia, they break through, show us flashes of brilliance, and then the sheer depth and quality of our squad make it incredibly difficult for them to get consistent game time. The club, to their credit, seems to be prioritizing the player's development. If an offer comes in that he likes, they'll study it with him. However, and this is crucial, Casado himself hasn't asked to leave yet, and he even turned down offers last summer. So, while the club is open to it, it seems our Marc is still fighting for his spot, which you've got to admire. But for his own growth, you have to wonder if a loan spell, getting regular starts week in, week out, wouldn't be the best thing for him to return even stronger. What do you think, Cules? Is it time for Casado to get some experience elsewhere, or should he continue to fight for minutes at Camp Nou? From one La Masia midfielder to another, and the story isn't too dissimilar, Cules. We're now hearing that our teenage prodigy, Marc Bernal, could also be heading out on loan before the end of the month. Remember this name, if you don't already know it, because this kid is special. At just 18, the talent is undeniable, but just like Casado, game time has been incredibly hard to come by. He's only managed a paltry 215 minutes across 11 appearances since returning from that nasty ACL injury in September. An ACL injury, mind you. That's a huge setback for a young player, and he's fought back incredibly well. We heard whispers about Girona's interest before the window even opened, and it seems that interest is still very much alive. Interestingly, Hansi Flick actually blocked a potential move earlier in the season. Why? Because our midfield was decimated by injuries, with Gavi and Pedri both sidelined. Flick needed every body available, and Bernal was a crucial part of the squad depth, even if he wasn't starting regularly. But now, with Pedri back and Gavi expected to return in February, the midfield landscape at Barça is shifting again. The logjam in the middle of the park is becoming incredibly tight, even for a talent like Bernal. The expectation was that his game time would improve in the second half of the season, but with the returning big guns, that seems less likely. So, the club is now leaving the door open. If Girona's interest persists, and if Bernal himself views the move positively, which is always key, then a loan deal could be on the cards. And honestly, Jules, for a player of Bernal's immense talent, consistent minutes are absolutely vital for his development. Imagine him playing week in, week out in La Liga, gaining experience, refining his game, and then returning to Camp Nou a more polished, ready-to-start midfielder. That's the dream, isn't it? It's tough to see our youngsters go, but sometimes, a temporary move is the best path to long-term success. What are your thoughts on Bernal possibly joining Girona? Could it be a masterstroke for his development? Okay, Jules, shifting gears now to a piece of news that, I must admit, initially caught me off guard, but the more I think about it, the more I understand and even appreciate it. We're talking about Andreas Christensen, our Danish defender, and reports from the incredibly reliable Fabrizio Romano confirm that Barcelona are set to offer him a new one-year contract extension. Now, why is this surprising? Well, his current deal expires in June, and until very recently, there had been absolutely no talks of a renewal. Many of us, myself included, had just assumed he might be moving on as a free agent in the summer. Christensen, when fit, is a solid, reliable presence at the back. He arrived on a free transfer in 2022 and has definitely contributed. But, and this is the big but, injuries have been a persistent problem for him throughout his time at Barça. He's currently recovering from a partial ACL tear, which will keep him out for at least 4 months, a devastating blow for any player. However, it seems our president, Joan Laporta, with his big cool heart, has been pushing for this one-year extension. The idea? To allow Christensen to focus entirely on his recovery without the added pressure and worry about his future and where he'll be playing next season. How incredible is that? It's a testament to the club's human touch, showing care and support for a player during a difficult time. Hansi Flick also clearly trusts him, that's a huge factor here. Flick has full confidence in Christensen, and when he's on the pitch, he offers composure, good positioning, and strong aerial ability. So, while the injury record is frustrating, believe me, I pull my hair out sometimes, this renewal allows him to recover fully, and if he can get back to his best, he's a valuable asset. It also gives the club another season to assess his fitness levels and whether he can consistently contribute without major setbacks. He's even traveling with the squad to support the team in the Super Cup final, which shows his commitment. This feels like a win-win, Jules. A show of faith from the club, and a chance for Christensen to prove his worth again. What do you make of this decision to renew Christensen's contract? Jules, get ready to explode with excitement because this next piece of news is huge. And I mean, absolutely huge. Barcelona are reportedly intending to activate the €30 million buy option for our on-loan Manchester United forward, Marcus Rashford. Can you believe it? This comes straight from journalist Alfredo Martinez, citing a club media briefing, and frankly, my heart is doing somersaults right now. From the moment he arrived on loan this summer, there was a buzz, a sense of anticipation, but nobody, not even the most optimistic Kuhl, could have predicted the impact he'd have. Rashford has just settled in. He hasn't just adapted, he's thrived, he's flourished, and he's convinced everyone at the club, from the coaching staff to the sporting management. Let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. 23 official matches, 7 goals, and 9 assists. That's 16 goal contributions, Kuhl's. 16. He's not just scoring, he's creating, he's providing that crucial attacking penetration that we sometimes lacked. He is an absolute nightmare for opposition defenders, with his pace, directness, and powerful shot. When he runs at defenders, you just know something is going to happen. There were brief whispers, especially with the managerial changes at Old Trafford, that he might return to Manchester, but this report is a clear indication that Barcelona wants him here, permanently. And why wouldn't they? He's performing at a consistently high level, he clearly loves being here, and the chemistry with our other attackers like Lamine Yamal and Robert Lewandowski is just fantastic to watch. €30 million for a player of his caliber, with his experience and impact? In today's market, that feels like an absolute steal, a bargain for a player who is already delivering and still has so much to offer. A final decision will be made later in the season, taking into account finances and continued performance, but right now, Kuhl's, all signs point to Rashford staying. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. Imagine him as a permanent fixture for years to come. What are your feelings on making Rashford's move permanent? Let me know in the comments. I'm buzzing. Okay, Kills, let's talk about something that's got my blood absolutely boiling, in the best possible way. We absolutely steamrolled Athletic Club in the Spanish Super Cup semi-final, a dominant 5-0 victory that showed exactly what this team is capable of when they click. 5-0, Kills. That's how you make a statement. But the real kicker, the news that sent shivers down my spine, in a good way, I swear, is that our boys wanted Real Madrid in the final. According to Javi Miguel of AS, the Barcelona squad was delighted to see those guys defeat Atletico Madrid. Why? Because there's a burning, undeniable desire for revenge. You all remember that painful 2-1 defeat at the Santiago Bernabéu earlier in the season, right? The taste of that loss still lingers, and our players are clearly hungry to set the record straight, to show who the real kings of Spanish football are, especially when a trophy is on the line. Most of the squad watched the other semi-final together, and the feeling was unanimous: satisfaction. They want the Clásico. They crave the Clásico. And you know what? So do I. This isn't just any final, it's an El Clásico final, the ultimate showdown, and it's for the first piece of silverware of the season. This is where legacies are built, where statements are made. Hansi Flick's record in El Clásicos is fantastic, 4 wins and only 1 defeat under his belt. He even led us to a dominant 5-2 victory in this very Super Cup final last season. That memory alone gives me chills. We're on a strong run of form, playing with confidence and swagger. There's a tangible belief within the squad that this is our moment, that this is the perfect setting to exact revenge and lift that trophy. Real Madrid, on the other hand, are surrounded by doubts and uncertainties, which only fuels our confidence. This is not just a game, it's a battle for bragging rights, for pride, and for that glorious feeling of watching our captain lift a trophy. My heart is already pounding for this one, Kills. The stakes couldn't be higher, and our boys are ready to fight. What are your predictions for the El Clásico final? Are you as pumped for revenge as I am? Let me know. Kills, let's take a moment to appreciate pure, unadulterated genius. We are so incredibly blessed to witness the rise of Lamine Yamal. This kid, this absolute phenomenon, has just been named La Liga Player of the Month for December. And here's the kicker, it's his second consecutive Player of the Month award. He grabbed it for November, and now for December. How utterly insane is that for an 18-year-old? The maturity, the skill, the composure, it's simply breathtaking. He's not just playing well, he's dominating. In December, he scored 2 goals in 4 La Liga matches, and guess what? Barça won all of them. His performances weren't just good, they were absolutely critical in helping Hansi Flick and co. cement our place at the top of the league table as we headed into the new year. Just think about that. An 18-year-old, carrying that much responsibility, delivering week in, week out, and being recognized as the best player in the entire league for 2 months straight. It speaks volumes about his talent, his work ethic, and his undeniable impact on this team. So far this season, the Spanish international has already racked up 7 goals and 8 assists in just 15 league appearances. And let's not forget his contributions in the Champions League and Copa del Rey, with 5 more goal involvements there. Every time he gets on the ball, my heart skips a beat. You just know he's going to produce a moment of magic, a dazzling dribble, a killer pass, or a stunning finish. He's got that X factor, that ability to turn a game on its head. He's not just a prospect, he's already a star, and he's only going to get better. This is a testament to La Masia, Kills, producing yet another generational talent. We are watching history unfold before our very eyes. Let's just sit back, enjoy the ride, and pray he stays fit and happy at our club for many, many years to come. What more can you say about Lamine Yamal? He's simply extraordinary, isn't he? Another Player of the Month award, absolutely deserved. Forza Lamine. Alright, Kills, prepare yourselves, because this next piece of news is genuinely a shocker, something I don't think any of us would have predicted even a few months ago. We're talking about Marc-Andre ter Stegen, our captain, our wall, our incredibly reliable number 1, and reports from Sport suggest he's now willing to approve a potential loan move to Girona. I know, take a moment to let that sink in. Ter Stegen, out on loan? It sounds almost sacrilegious, doesn't it? But let's look at the situation. Since returning from his back surgery, Mats has found himself in an unfamiliar and frankly, an unfavorable situation. With Joan Garcia and Wojciech Szczesny now ahead of him in the pecking order, yes, you heard that right, Szczesny, his minutes have dwindled to almost nothing. For a player of his caliber, a veteran, a leader, and a German international, this is simply not sustainable. His priority is clear, he needs to play, He needs to compete, and he needs to accumulate minutes to stay in the German national team picture for the upcoming World Cup. That desire to represent his country is incredibly strong, and you can't fault him for that. Girona, who are having an incredible season, have shown strong interest, and it seems Mats is open to the idea of playing under Michel. However, and this is where the classic Barça financial drama kicks in, there's a major hurdle: wages. Ter Stegen isn't prepared to waive money or give up a significant portion of his salary to facilitate this move. And Barcelona, quite rightly, is demanding that Girona cover a significant percentage, around 20 to 25% of his salary. Unfortunately, Girona, despite their stellar season, simply can't come close to that figure right now. From a sporting perspective, Barca understands his desire. Flick can only give him occasional minutes. But financially, it has to make sense for the club. So, for the first time, Mats has given his yes, but now the ball is in Girona's court to find a financial solution. This is a monumental decision, Kules. It's hard to imagine Barca without Mats, but for his career and his World Cup hopes, maybe this is a necessary step. What do you think about this potential loan deal? Is it the right move for Ter Stegen and for Barca? Alright, Kules, let's dive into some tactical talk, because the impending return of Joao Cancelo is not just a straightforward signing. It has fascinating implications for our defensive setup, particularly for Jules Koundé. Cancelo's return is practically done, with Hansi Flick and Deco openly discussing it, so we can consider him a Blaugrana again. While we initially thought the club might look for a centre-back, Cancelo's versatility and his desperate desire to come back, even taking a pay cut, made him irresistible. He's a natural right-back, right? So, the immediate question for many of us was, does this finally push Jules Koundé back into his preferred centre-back role alongside Paul Kubasi? Or perhaps free up Eric Garcia, who's been slowly transitioning into midfield? Well, according to Sport, Kules, Hansi Flick is not considering Koundé as a central defender in his scheme. And he doesn't plan to change that dynamic now. This is a big revelation. Remember, even under Xavi, Koundé's shift to right-back started, playing close to 66% of his games there. Flick's arrival only solidified that, as the German coach sees Koundé's potential as a great fullback, especially in aiding Lamine Yamal's progression on that right flank. He hasn't played a single minute at centre-back under Flick. So, what does this mean for Cancelo? It seems more likely that Cancelo will be used as a backup for Alejandro Balde at left-back, or perhaps to offer rotation on that side. Flick often prefers his left-back to be more attacking, while the right-back plays a slightly more restricted, defensive role. That dynamic, surprisingly, fits Cancelo better on the left. Koundé, meanwhile, is expected to remain our first-choice right-back. The thinking is that playing Cancelo on the same flank as Lamine Yamal, while incredibly potent offensively, could leave us defensively vulnerable on the right. So, the defensive solidity and balance that Koundé provides at right-back seems to be a priority for Flick. If anyone is going to shift to centre-back, it's more likely to be Eric Garcia, given Flick's previous trust in him there. This is fascinating, Kules. It shows Flick has a very clear vision for his squad. What do you think of Flick's stance on Koundé and Cancelo's role? Does it make sense to keep Koundé at right back? Alright, Kules, let's talk about another La Masia gem who has absolutely stolen our hearts this season, Fermin Lopez. This kid has been pure fire, hasn't he? And it seems his incredible performances haven't gone unnoticed, particularly by clubs with deep pockets. Reports from Fabrizio Romano on DAZN confirm that Chelsea was seriously after Fermin during the summer transfer window, making significant efforts to lure him away from FC Barcelona. Can you imagine? A Premier League heavyweight coming for one of our own, one who was just starting to break through. But, and this is why I love Fermin even more, our La Masia graduate decided to stay put, snubbing those overtures from the Blues. And rightly so. Barca, for their part, had absolutely no intention of parting ways with the 22-year-old Spaniard. Why? Because he's become an absolutely key, pivotal player for Hansi Flick. Now, good news for us, while Chelsea still admire Fermin, a move in the current January window is highly unlikely. They've got a new manager and are undergoing some changes, so a transfer of this magnitude isn't on their immediate agenda. And frankly, Kules, even if they did come knocking, the possibility of Barcelona letting Fermin go is practically zero. He's become indispensable. His energy, his pressing, his knack for scoring crucial goals, and his overall work rate make him an absolute beast in our midfield. He was one of the stars of the show in our dominant 5-0 Super Cup semi-final win over Athletic Club, showcasing exactly why he's so important. In 20 matches across all competitions, he's already bagged 8 goals and 8 assists. 8 goals and 8 assists. Those are incredible numbers for a midfielder, Kules. He plays with such passion, such intensity, and he's clearly living the dream at his boyhood club. Now, there are whispers from England that Chelsea might revisit their interest in the summer, potentially as part of a massive €150 million spending spree. But for now, and hopefully forever, Fermin is a Cule through and through. We need to keep hold of talents like him, who understand the Barça DNA. What do you think, Cules? Are you as relieved as I am that Fermin is staying put? Alright Cules, let's end on a high note, a note of immense confidence and absolute swagger, especially with that Super Cup final against Real Madrid just around the corner. We're talking about Hansi Flick, our magnificent manager, and his absolutely astounding record in finals. Get this, in 7 final matches throughout his entire managerial career, Flick has never lost a game. Let me repeat that for dramatic effect, 7 finals, 7 wins. That's a 100% success rate, Cules. This man is a final specialist, a serial winner, and frankly, it's the kind of psychological edge that should have those guys from Madrid shaking in their boots. His love affair with decisive matches began spectacularly. Remember July 2020? German Cup victory. A month later, after famously dismantling a certain club 8-2 in the Champions League quarter-finals, that game, he secured the Champions League title with Bayern. Then came the UEFA Super Cup, the German Super Cup, and the Club World Cup, all added to his cabinet. A true treble and then some. And since arriving in Catalonia, he's kept that flawless streak alive. His first silverware with us? You guessed it, against Real Madrid in last season's Super Cup final, a dominant 5-2 victory. And then he followed that up on April 26, 2025, winning his second final with the Blaugrana, defeating Real Madrid 3-2 in an extra-time thriller to clinch the Copa del Rey. So, not only is he perfect in finals, but he's already beaten Madrid twice in finals with us. The only twist? He's never played in the final of the same competition twice, which will change next week. But honestly, Cules, that just makes it even more exciting. This record isn't just statistics, it's a reflection of his winning mentality, his ability to prepare his teams for the biggest occasions, and his knack for getting them over the line when it matters most. With this man at the helm, and our players hungry for revenge and playing with newfound confidence, I truly believe we can go all the way and lift that Super Cup trophy. Hansi Flick is a winner, and he's bringing that winning DNA to our club. What does Flick's incredible final record do to your confidence for the El Clásico final, Cules? Mine is through the roof. Forza Barça. Phew. What a rollercoaster of emotions, Cules. From the tough decisions we might face with our incredible La Masia talents like Marc Casado and Marc Bernal, to the utterly thrilling prospect of making Marcus Rashford's loan move a permanent reality, what a player he's been, right? And the unexpected but heartwarming contract renewal for Andreas Christensen, it's never, ever a dull moment when you support FC Barcelona. And let's not forget the sheer joy and pride of seeing Lamine Yamal continue his meteoric rise, scooping up Player of the Month awards like they're going out of fashion. What a talent! But overshadowing all of this, the crescendo of our week, is that monumental El Clásico final in the Spanish Super Cup. My heart is absolutely pounding just thinking about it. Our boys are hungry for revenge, Hansi Flick is a certified final specialist, his record speaks for itself, and we have every reason to believe we can bring that first trophy of the season back home to Catalonia. I am absolutely buzzing with excitement, and I can feel the energy radiating from all of you, too. Now I want to hear from you, my fellow Cules. What are your biggest takeaways from today's news? Are you hyped for Rashford? Are you torn about the potential loan moves for our youngsters? What's your score prediction for the Clásico final? Let me know everything, your unfiltered, passionate opinions, in the comments section below. Let's get that discussion going. And before you go, please do me a massive favor. If you're as passionate about Barça as I am, smash that like button right now. It truly helps the channel grow and lets me know you're enjoying the content. If you haven't already, please subscribe to join our growing family of dedicated Cules, and hit that notification bell so you never, ever miss a single update, rumor, or celebratory rant, especially our post-match analysis of the Super Cup final, because you know it's going to be epic. Until next time, Cules, remember, Forza Barça, always and forever.